Down Motorsports 99 on his outside in his first ever visit here to the Lernerville Speedway out of Oakwood, Illinois, the smooth operator Bobby Pierce.
Inside of row 2, fresh off 50,000 at the topless 100. It's Watertown, New York's T-Mac, Tim McCready in the 1. Into his outside, Greg Satterley out of Indiana, Pennsylvania in the 22.
Third row back on the inside, the driver comes into the event third in the Castrol FloRacing Night in America point standings. It's going to be the high side hustler Jason Feger, and on his outside out of Seaford, Delaware in the number 11. He's the defending Delaware International Speedway and Georgetown Speedway track champion. It's Trevor Collins.
Inside of row number 4 in a limited starts this year to be the 25G of Andrew Gordon from Du Bois, Pennsylvania. To his outside, Cabot, PA's Levi Yetter, a two-time winner this year in the 9 car.
And your final starter is going to be the number 6 of Matt Martin out of Indiana, Pennsylvania. 9 drivers running 8 laps. The top 3 will transfer here out of Integra Racing. Shocks and Springs Heat Race number 1. Chris Moore will interview the winner at the end of this one.
Well, you got World 100 wins in this one. You got Topless 100 wins. You got Silver Dollar Nationals wins.
You got first timers. You've got Firecracker 100 winners. I mean, this is a loaded Integra Shocks and Springs first heat race. They'll fire over in turns 1 or 3 and 4 rather in the starting zone. Moran on the inside, Pierce on the outside. Green flag is out.
And the new track record holder takes him off into 1 and 2. Devin Moran, your leader. Pierce looks to the outside, and Moran will get a good run through 1 and 2. Pierce down low. He's in the second spot. Even lower those McCready side by side for spot 2.
They go wheel to wheel for the second spot through turns 3 and 4. McCready with the edge, fresh off that topless 100 win. He'll hold that second spot at the start-finish line. Satterley there trying to toss his head in the ring as well. Only 3 transfer. Moran gets a little high coming out of turn 2. Pierce slips up. Here's the battle for the final transfer.
Greg Satterley, this year's Appalachian Mountain Speedway champion, goes to work on Bobby Pierce for the final transfer. Satterley, a 7-time winner this year, and we've got a caution on the speedway as Trevor Collins draws it out of turn 2 down the back straightaway. And caution on the speedway. The Delaware driver is going to bunch him back up with Devin Moran. He had already jumped out to a 0.6 of a second lead. And that back straightaway here, you don't want to flirt with that. We saw some drivers go for some wild rides back at the Firecracker. And, man, I tell you what, it is a long way off that back stretch.
Yeah, we saw Joe Petyak get upside down there going off the back straightaway as well during the Firecracker 100, go off the back straightaway and get upside down several times. And for the first time here tonight, we are going to get a look at the Dethridge Opticians Choose Cone.
That's right. So you see it on the front straightaway, the green cone. The leader will be all by their lonesome on the front row. Second place can choose high or low. Third place can choose high or low. Fourth place, high or low. And the most dangerous job in all of racing is that camera mounted on that cone. The good news for that cone, Mike Marler is not in this heat, who hit it twice at Fairbury. But as you see, Adam, let's see how they are going to go. As Devin Moran, looks like McCready will take the bottom, and that'll put Pierce to his outside. And right now, everybody pretty much following suit in this one.
Well, that's no fun.
Yeah, you know what, though? We're letting them have choices.
That's right. Give them choices.
Kate Dillard told me at Fairbury, he goes, it's a blast to watch on TV. It's the most stressful thing in the world when you're sitting in the race car. So, Kate, that one's for you. As lights are down on the speedway, we'll come back to the restart zone. 2 down, 6 laps remain. Top 3 to the feature, and Devin Moran leads the way.
Devin Moran's been your leader since the drop of the green flag in this first Integra Shocks and Springs heat race. As the green flag flies, and we're back underway in this one. It was a good battle for second and a good battle for the transfer shaping up before that caution flag flew. And now Bobby Pierce, who was just about to fall out of a transfer spot, now challenging Devin Moran for the lead.
Meanwhile, Satterley went off-roading through turns 1 and 2. He'll fall back to 5th. It'll be Jason Fager up to 4th, as now Devin Moran's going to change his line as he had Bobby Pierce working on him, and they're racing through a dust storm out of 2 that Satterley kicked up when he went through the infield. Good battle for the lead.
Let's not forget Devin Moran raced his way all the way up to a podium finish after starting back in, I believe, 15th back here in the Firecracker 100. Meanwhile, behind him, you've got 2 drivers in the top 4 that have never been to Lernerville before. One of them's on your screen, the 32 appears. The other, the 25 of Jason Fager. Ben, 5 laps now in the books, 3 to go.
5 down, 3 to go in Integra Shocks and Springs heat race number 1. Top 3 to the feature. Everybody else to 1 of 2 B mains. wins here tonight, as now Pierce closing back in on Moran, who was flirting with the top side of that racetrack. 2 laps to go. Can Pierce find a way around Moran for the pole here tonight?
And to the point that you made earlier, man, you don't want to drop that right rear off the track coming off turn number 2, because not only could you lose wholesale ground, you could lose a lot, but you could lose an entire race car if you go out over that back straightaway here at Lernerville Speedway. White flag in the air, final time around, Ben. Who's it going to be in Heat 1?
Devin Moran a half a second advantage over Bobby Pierce, out of 2 down the back straightaway. Moran's got it. Pierce in second, firmly in the third spot. McCready. DJ off forward to the checkered flag.
It's going to be the driver out of Dresden, Ohio, Devin Moran, getting the win. Bobby Pierce second, and third will go to Tim McCready. Outside of the transfer, it's Jason Feger fourth, Greg Satterley fifth, Levi Yetter sixth, Trevor Collins seventh, Andrew Gordon eighth, and Matt Martin will finish ninth. So Tim McCready grabs third. Second will go to Bobby Pierce, and there is the winner of Integra Shocks and Springs Heat Race number 1. It's going to be the driver out of Dresden, Ohio, in that Roger Sellers owned Double Down Motorsports, Lazy Days RV, Big River Steel, C&W Trucking, Red Oak Pub, CarSourceAuto.com, Holland Haskell sponsored, Clements powered Longhorn Chassis, the number 99. How about it, ladies and gentlemen? He will start on the pole here tonight, and he's your new track record holder. It's going to be Devin Moran. So Devin Moran's going to make his way over into the lane. He's about the third car back. So Ben, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the lineup here for K1 Race Gear Heat 2.
Starting on the pole, it'll be Ricky Thornton Jr. out of Martinsville, Indiana, the 20 RT, into his outside. Fayetteville, North Carolina's Dalton Wilson in the 18.
Row 2 will be the 1-1-1. That is Max Blair, and on his outside out of Hookstown, Pennsylvania, the 1Z is Logan Zarin.
Starting inside of row 3, out of Lincolnton, North Carolina, the Payor Motorsports 93 of Carson Ferguson, into his outside. Chubb Frank out of Bear Lake, Pennsylvania, in the 1-star.
And your final 2 starters here in K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 2. It's going to be Georgetown, Delaware's Ross Robinson in the 7, and Logan Jacque out of Bear Lake, Pennsylvania in the number 1. That's the lineup for K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 2. Your winner is going to grab a word with Chris Moore. He is the winner of Integra Shocks and Springs Heat number 1, and it's Devin Moran.
Thank you, DJ. Devin, 16th to 2nd a couple of months ago. New track record and a heat race win. How good does your race car feel here at Lernerville?
Felt pretty decent right there, but track's definitely different than when we were here for the Firecracker. 1 and 2's kind of all over, and 3 and 4 is going to have a really big cushion here for the feature. So just got to work on our steering a little bit and get the balance a little bit better, and try to stay out front.
Did you feel Bobby pressuring you there?
Yeah, I knew he was pretty close. On them restarts, I could kind of hear him a little bit down there, and I knew as long as I didn't mess up in 3 and 4, just carried enough momentum, it'd be hard for him to pass us, and that's what happened. So, yeah, we were pretty decent.
All right, there you go, guys. Devin Moran, the winner of heat number 1. Also, real quick, I asked Bobby Pierce, he came across the scales. I said, "You like it?" He said it's pretty good. It's got to get wider, but he thinks it'll be fun come feature time.
Well, we know the thing about Bobby Pierce. He figures out racetracks, big, small, all points in between. As we get set for this one now, and Ricky Thornton Jr. and Kohler Motorsports on the pole, Ratliff Racing's Dalton Wilson alongside, and of course, Thornton, albeit with a different team, became the first driver back in June to become a back-to-back Firecracker 100 champion. And alongside Dalton Wilson, he worked on the podium all weekend in that Firecracker weekend.
Yeah, and let's not forget the guy starting just behind him as well in the 111, Max Blair out of Centerville, Pennsylvania, has run a lot of laps here. Of course, has won the EMIG Memorial, the Rush Crate late model show that pays $20,000 to win on Firecracker 100 weekend. He's a multi-time winner in that, and he just got his 3rd win of the year last weekend in the ULMS race just up the road at the Tri-City Speedway. So the defending Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series Rookie of the Year going to start inside row number 2 in this one. Then, of course, Logan Zarin on the outside in the 1Z, as Zarin had 3 wins a year ago, still seeking victory lane for the first time here in 2024.
These heat races are tough. This is K1 Race Gear Heat 2. They are coming to the green flag out of turn 4. Thornton Jr. and Wilson, 8 laps the distance, top 3 to the feature, and we are underway. And Dalton Wilson with a hole shot. He's going to take them off into 1 and 2 on the top side. We'll see if Thornton can find a way around down low as they battle for the top spot out of 2 down the backstretch. Here comes Thornton, Max Blair in tow.
Here they come through turns 3 and 4 to see who leads lap number 1. The 18D slides up the racetrack, and he will have the advantage. The end of lap number 1. That's Dalton Wilson, Ricky Thornton Jr. second. Side by side now for the final transfer as Logan Zarin gets a little too high. Coming off corner number 2, that allows Max Blair to take that last transfer spot, leaving a pair of 1s back there to battle for 4th. The 1C is Zarin, the 1-star Chubb Frank.
And right now continues to be Wilson leading the way. But I tell you what, Thornton Jr. starting to find a little something. We heard Devin Moran talk about it. 1 and 2 is slick. 3 and 4 is hammered down to the cushion. And it's a tell of two racetracks right now with 3 down, 5 to go in K1 Race Gear Heat 2.
It's incredibly fun to watch them through turns 3 and 4, man. It's no surprise to see the 20 RT up there. As don't forget, back here at the Firecracker 100, Ricky Thornton Jr. won this race by some astronomical margin. It was like 13 or 14 seconds, albeit with a different race team that weekend. Though he comes here behind the wheel of the Bobby and Jessica Kohler Motorsports 20 RT, and he continues to hound your race leader, Dalton Wilson.
Yeah, and he changed his groove right there, trying to make up some ground on Wilson. 5 down, 3 to go. It continues to be Max Blair in third, Zarin in fourth, Chubb Frank back in fifth. Ross Robinson, Carson Ferguson, and Jaquay round out your field. But like we saw in the first heat, it's a 2-car breakaway out in front as they race back to 2 to go with Dalton Wilson leading the way.
I thought they were going to make contact there. So much fun watching those guys go through turns 3 and 4. Max Blair right there with them, as well as that lead trio's got a pretty decent little gap over your 4th place car, Logan Zarin. As they come around this time, Ben, white flags out final time around, and Dalton Wilson stretching out his advantage over RTJ.
Yeah, he is. And Wilson's actually moved to the middle of the racetrack through 1 and 2, and that's allowed him to stretch it out as they race down the back straightaway off into turns 3 and 4. The winner of K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 2, Dalton Wilson in car 18.
Second was going to go to Ricky Thornton Jr. Max Blair grabs the last transfer ahead of Logan Zarin, Chubb Frank. Ross Robinson going to edge out Carson Ferguson, and Logan Jacquet will round out the field in 8. So third's going to go to the 111 of Max Blair, second to the 20 RT of Ricky Thornton Jr. And your winner is making his way to the scale area. Is the driver out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. Comes into this event 4th in the Castrol point standings, and that James Ratliff Racing, Grant Lee Farms, MGL Auto Sales, Keltner Contracting, ICS Clements Powered Longhorn. How about it for the big perm, Dalton Wilson? Chris Moore will send it down to you.
Thank you, DJ. Dalton will get the helmet off. Calls over one of his crew guys here, but we'll get a word with him real quick. Oh, I don't want to get run over here. Dalton, race car looked good. You seem to move up earlier than anybody else over there in 1 and 2. What made you do that, and what did you find up there to carry speed?
Right there, my car really wasn't that good stopping down in the bottom of 1, so I just kind of had to get my momentum back up, and luckily there was enough stuff thrown up on the racetrack that I could do it. So, my car is okay right now. I can't thank my guys enough. Josh Blake, JC's back home trying to get my race car back together. My brother, just everybody back at the shop working their butts off. Longhorn, Clements, James, Justin, Jennifer Ratliff, all the Ratliffs, Grant Lee, MGL, just everybody behind this deal. Hopefully we can have us a good solid night and maybe get a win.
All right, there you go, guys. Dalton Wilson, anytime you beat RTJ, especially after the performance he put on in the Firecracker, you're doing something right.
Yeah, and he had big perm style out there in that one. He found his groove late as we get set for Buzzy Racing Products Heat 3 on the pole. It'll be Alex Ferree out of Saxonburg, Pennsylvania, the 1C, and to his outside, 4-time World of Outlaws champion and current points leader out of New Berlin, Illinois. It's Brandon Shepard in the B5.
Row 2 on the inside out of Jupiter, Florida will be the 6H. That is going to be Clay Harrison on his outside. He is now a 4-time the newly crowned Lernerville Speedway track champion, winner of 8 out of the 10 regular shows here. It's going to be the 72 of Michael Norris.
Inside of row 3 be 2-time track champion out of Sarver, Pennsylvania. In the 29, it's Kenny Shelton brand. And to his outside, a 2-time winner this year in the 5L out of Somerville, Pennsylvania, John Lee.
And a pair of former track champs and a pair of number 10s make up row number 4. The 2012 track champion, the Jet Jared Miley, going to start on the inside. In the orange 10, the Joe Corrado entering on his outside, the 1998 track champion here at Lernerville Speedway out of Leechburg, Pennsylvania. That is Gary Lyle. 8 cars, 8 laps. Top 3 will transfer out of Buzzy Racing Products Heat Race number 3. And of course, your pole sitter. There's a lot of Lernerville track champions in this one, but you got 5 former track champs in all in this one, and they're led by your pole sitter, a 6-time track champ, and that famed Lynn Geisler number 1 Cochran entry of Alex Ferree.
Ferree and Shepard, a couple of veterans on the front row, and Ferree with the hole shot. We'll see if Shepard can make up ground on the cushion. Off into 1 and 2 as Ferree will head down low. Sheppy goes to the cushion. Shepard with a big run, and they are going to call that one back. Caution on the speed.
They'll try it one more time here in Buzzy Racing Products Heat Race number 3 with Alex Ferree in the 1C, maybe getting a little too good of a hole shot.
Gets one more shot,
There,
though.
yeah,
we have a get out of, so we're going to get him lined up here and try this one again. Ferree said, I thought that start was great. I didn't see the problem.
By the way, so you've got Ferree, a 6-time Lernerville track champ. You've got Norris, now a 4-time track champion. Shelton Brand has won the track title here twice. And then your back row in Miley and Lyle have each won at one time. And if my math is correct, that is 14 Lernerville track championships, all in this third Buzzy Racing Products heat race.
That's a good call, DJ. So much history here. Looking better this time. Ferree and Shepard, and they're in the start zone, and they are underway, and that's more like it. As Shepard will go to the outside of Ferree. Clay Harris looks to the inside through 1 and 2. Ferree down low, Shepard up top, and Brandon Shepard here, and he's going to bring Mike Norris with him down the back straightaway as Norris goes to second, Ferree back to third.
I have no idea how Norris kept the 72 on the racetrack, but he gets too high coming off corner number 4. That opens the door back up for Ferree. Looks like a Friday night here with those two going at it. Shelton Brand trying to run in the mix as well. And look at Clay Harris, Ben. He's had some tough luck here over the course of the last few weeks, but he's trying to get his feet back under him at the back of the field. Meanwhile, oh no! Big time trouble on the front away, and somehow they did not wreck the 72 in the 1C. Oh my!
Wow, Ferree and a flat tire from Mike Norris, your track champion, and he is going to draw a caution. Oh my goodness, out of turn 4, we'll get the lap and caution on the Speedway. He's going to head down to the hot pit. And he's not going to have any time, though. We don't do courtesy laps in the heat races, so that crew's going to go to work. And what chaos in this one, guys, as we get down to Chris Moore.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to say his guys are ready. They've already got the jack out, impact going on the left rear. He's going to have a new Hoosier tire on here as quick as they can possibly get it done.
I tell you, Chris, thanks a lot. And back in the truck, they're going to queue up an instant replay, if at all possible, to see exactly what happened here. Ben, I don't know if you got to see it or if it blocked your sight line. I mean, there was big-time contact between the 1C of Ferree and the 72 of Norris, and it happened. We're going to show you a full lap here because you're going to see contact maybe even made down the back straightaway or in turns 3 and 4 here as well, as Norris gets a good run down to the inside of Ferree right there. And right here, you're going to see these two guys make contact. Yeah, right there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Ferree had a run on the outside. Norris was on the bottom. And when all was said and done, a flat left rear on the 72 of Michael Norris.
Wow, so you saw the replay there, the MD3 bodies instant replay as Norris down in the hot pit trying to get that car back out and down to Chris Moore.
Well, they've got the new left rear on. The old left rear, I believe it just ripped off the bead. It kind of looked like there on the replay. He made contact with the right rear, and when the car sat back down and kind of jolted to the side, you could kind of see that a little bit. And I think that ripped the left rear tire off the bead.
All right, well, the Deathridge Opticians choose cone on the Speedway, and everybody holds serve on that one. Norris is going to grab the back of the pack. He's got 5 laps to try to pick up some spots, and the thing about it, DJ, 2 series provisionals here, not a track provisional, so Norris is going to have to race his way in.
Yeah, and it's going to be fun to watch Norris try to work his way through the field, and I tell you what, this is a really good heat race as well. Now, the thing with Michael Norris is, again, they've had 10 regular shows here this year. He's won 8 of them. He knows his way around Lernerville Speedway just as well as anyone, but he's got a pretty tough row to hoe as we go back to Green Flag Racing. 3 down, 5 to go.
And Clay Harris is going to wrestle the second spot away from Ferree. Ferree looks back to the inside. John Lee's going to put to the whip to it up top. Meanwhile, Shelton Brand goes around Ferree down low as we got all kinds of action here in Heat Race 3, presented by Buzzy Racing with Shepard out front.
Kenny Shelton Brand running the go. No, he slides through the infield. Oh, that is a hard hit for the driver of the 29, and the caution flag is out as he was running the typical Kenny Shelton Brand line. He actually hooked the berm on the inside of the racetrack, and as he came up the racetrack, contact was made, and I mean, he slammed hard into the inside wall coming down the front straightaway.
And a chaotic Buzzy Racing Products Heat 3, and Shelton Brand, lucky that car did not get upside down. He hit that wall so hard, and they're down there checking on him right now. We'll get an update from Chris momentarily, but some of the perennial front runners here at Lernerville having issues, and good news, driver is okay. Kenny Shelton Brand is okay down on the front straightaway. All right, so we're gonna run the instant replay. Everybody watching at home, the MD3 instant replay to see what happened to Ken Schultenbrand.
You're going to see him. He hooks the inside. He hooked it a little bit in the middle of the corner. He and Harris made contact. When they made contact, oh, man.
Man, I thought for a second he was going over that wall. That was a scary, scary situation.
Yeah, no doubt about that. A tough break. Kenny Schultenbrand climbing out of the car. He was 5th in the track points this year. He comes into this event leading the Marion Center Speedway point standings, where he's won 2 races this year. As you see track crews looking underneath that race car. Chris Moore will send it down to you.
Yeah, they're going to put the hook on the rear, guys. He's got a bent wheel. Looked like some frame damage in the rear of that race car, so they're going to have some work to do. You talked about him hitting the wall a ton. He actually knocked the wall back off its place here in the infield. As a matter of fact, yeah, you could see the concrete wall here that he ran into is actually split in half.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's why you never turn your back to the racetrack, because you never know what's coming at you. And I'm glad to see Kenny's okay. A lot of damage to that race car. I imagine he's going to be sore tomorrow. But a hard hit. Man, what a tough breakdown there.
It really is. Again, he's a 2-time track champion here at Lernerville. Made the firecracker for the 8th time in his career. Wow. Look at that wall. That is just how hard he is. That is great camera work from Adam Martz down there in the infield. He moved that jersey barrier back. I mean, there's a foot length right there, as you see, and he moved it back a little bit further than that. Man, yeah. Oh, man.
And you can see right behind the sign here, it's actually split right down the middle of this piece of jersey barrier. I see the drones with us. Right here, it's split right down the middle of the jersey barrier. This jersey barrier took a beating, but it did its job. It kept the guys here in the infield that were right behind it safe.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, he hit a ton. So I say the rear end of the frame on that race car is not going to be in great shape.
All right, well, Buzzy Racing Products Heat 3, 4 laps down, and a lot of chaos down. And right now, it's Brandon Shepard leading the way. Clay Harris looking good. He sits in 2nd. Alex Faree, you kind of feel like Alex is battling the handle on that race car a little bit, DJ, but he holds on to the 3rd and final transfer with John Lee. Tell you what, Michael Norris could battle back into a transfer spot. Gary Lyle and Jared Miley back there as well, still trying to make up some ground with 4 laps remaining.
And you talk about Faree as well. He finished 6th in the track points this year, and a guy that honestly, Lady Luck dealt him a bad hand, probably more than she dealt him a good hand this year. Just 1 win on the year for Faree this year, and surprisingly, it didn't come here at Lernerville Speedway. Grabbed a win at Latrobe there a while back. So the 6-time Lernerville track champion right now finds himself back in a transfer spot. He runs in 3rd. You mentioned Clay Harris is 2nd, and they trail your race leader, Brandon Shepard. Now 4 laps in the books, 4 laps remaining in Buzzy Racing Products Heat Race number 3.
Brandon Shepard back on the loud pedal, and we are back underway. Clay Harris has got 2nd. Faree goes to work on him. That's the battle for that position. 3 move on. Faree up top. He'll get a big run off 2 down the back straightaway, but it's still Clay Harris in position 2.
Yeah, Clay Harris, remember, came here as well for the Firecracker 100. So he's got a few laps on this racetrack, but now a good battle side by side for the 2nd spot. Here comes Faree back down to the inside. He's trying to take the spot away from Harris. He'll do so momentarily, and don't look now, but Michael Norris is knocking on the back door, trying to race his way in the show through the heat.
Oh, hang on as Norris gets some quarter panel and the position. He goes to 3rd. Clay Harris back to 4th. He's on the outside looking in.
This may get interesting as Norris tries to work his way back up to position number 2, and this all happens well behind your race leader, Brandon Shepard. Shepard going to take the white flag final time around for the New Berlin, Illinois driver. Right now, Faree continues to hold on to the 2nd spot. The battle for the final transfer on the right side of your screen. Ben, they go through 3 and 4 for the final time.
The winner of Buzzy Racing Products Heat 3, Brandon Shepard in the B5. Coming home in 2nd, Alex Faree. 3rd, we'll go to Michael Norris, Clay Harris, John Lee, Jared Miley, Gary Lyle all head off to the B main. As checkered flag is out here in Buzzy Racing Products Heat 3, Michael Norris from the back to 3rd. He'll take the final transfer. Alex Faree comes home in 2nd. And your winner, the B5 of Brandon Shepard out of New Berlin, Illinois. Shepard Riggs Racing, Longhorn Factory, Dude Wipes, Bilstein, Coleman Farms Racing, Riggs Drilling Solution, I-Beam Sliding Doors, Valvoline, UNOH, Mesilla Valley Transportation, American Racing, all sponsors to the current World of Outlaws Late Model Series points leader, as we're going to go ahead and tell you who's going to be starting where in Ibach Springs Heat Race number 4.
Ibach Springs Heat 4 is staged in the staging lane, and it's going to line up like this. Your pole sitter hails out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. He was the fast qualifier in Group B. That's Garrett Alberson on his outside. In the 66, Huntington, Pennsylvania's Justin Can.
Row 2 2 will be Hudson O'Neill out of Martinsville, Indiana in the 71, and the 40 of Michael Doritsky Jr. out of Masontown, PA in the 40.
Dennis Erb Jr. has the Barry Wright Icon house car inside row 3. Outside of him in a brand new Rocket XR 1.2, that is Dan Angelicchio.
And your final 2 starters will be Kaiser, West Virginia's Travis Stickley in the 32S and Bump Hedman out of Sugar Grove, Pennsylvania in the B22. We'll head down for an interview with the winner of Buzzy Racing Products Heat 3, Brandon Shepard.
Thank you, Ben. Brandon? Well, that was a chaotic heat race. I don't know if you felt it in the race car, but were you able to still get a good sense of how your car feels before this A-Main tonight?
Yeah, I felt like we had a pretty good balance right there. Got a pretty good start. Car took off good. I could run top, middle, bottom, kind of wherever I wanted to there in that heat there. So we'll just hopefully make the right adjustments on this thing. And I'd say tire choice is going to come into play a little bit tonight, and we'll see what we got for this feature.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Brandon Shepard, guys, first one we've heard say that tire choice will be a factor tonight.
Well, Brandon Shepard's been picking up momentum here throughout 2024 as we get into the second half of the year, and he is going to move. He moves off to the main event. He'll start 5th tonight, trying to get that Castrol FloRacing Night in America win, and of course, former champion of the series. And he is again a little bit slow start to the year on the tour, but he'll be going for his 3rd win of the year. Meanwhile, when you talk about Heat 4, this is for the outside front row, and Garrett Alberson, man, he has just had a gangbuster kind of year, DJ. 4 wins, and they've been big, but you feel like that first really big win is just around the corner. Justin Can out alongside made the comment. He said, just been busy with stuff, haven't raced as much as we like, but it's good to see him back here at Lernerville.
You know, when you think of drivers in that central Pennsylvania area, not so much over here in western PA, but central Pennsylvania that's run well in the past, Port Royal, Heston, when Heston was open and running supers and everything. And Justin Can's name kind of comes to the top of the list. Row 2, Hudson O'Neill on the inside, of course, reunited with SSI Motorsports. He was 9th here back at the Firecracker. And then on the outside of him, talked about it earlier, but Michael Doritsky, who took over the reins of that Tom Crow Racing number 40 this year, finally just a couple weeks ago got his first career super late model win over at Marion Center Speedway. And he's trying to put that Tom Crow Racing 40 in the show. Dennis Erb back there in row number 3 on the inside, of course, mentioned that he made that move to the Barry Wright Icon house car. And Danny Angelicchio, we talked to Danny Angelicchio back in the pit area, and very, very cool, very ironic that he has got one of those brand new XR 1.2, so to speak, and it was the 14th car that they made for car number 14. And of course, the Angelicchio name very, very synonymous with Mark Richards, Steve Baker, and the guys at Rocket Chassis.
Well, luckily these guys aren't superstitious.
Not at all. No, nobody in racing is superstitious. All right. Well, the caution lights have been turned off, and the green flag is going to wave this time by. Once again, 8 cars running 8 laps. Top 3 transfer. The winner starts on the outside front row here tonight. Garrett Alberson on the pole. Justin Can on the outside trying to pull off the upset as we get ready to go green in Ibach Springs Heat 4.
And Garrett Alberson gets a good start. Justin Can does not. Hudson O'Neill moves into 2nd. Can back to 3rd, and he may go further. Oh, Angelicchio into the back of Hudson. Hudson goes around, and that is going to draw a caution. And it will be a complete double file restart since it's multiple cars on the first lap, but Angelicchio got off in there, and Hudson was unfortunately in the wrong place at the wrong time as he was sitting there setting his car, and Angelicchio made contact with the 71 car going around.
71, look at how it's jacked something up there, man. That thing is set up higher than it normally sets up there on the left rear, but that's also, I think, where Angelicchio made contact with him as well. We'll go ahead and take a look at your MD3 5-star Race Products instant replay and see exactly what happened to bring out this first caution in Ibach Springs Heat Race number 4.
Yeah, and you see Hudson's in there, and actually, it's almost like Hudson's car checked up and Angelicchio didn't have anywhere to go.
Boom, you nailed it, man. You were reading my mind. I think Hud may have checked up a little bit because he didn't want to get into the 58 of Garrett Alberson the way it looked, and Angelicchio was already hard on the throttle.
And they're taking a look down there, the SSI Motorsports number 71. Hudson currently 5th in the series standings with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, trying to make up ground here with Castrol FloRacing Night in America. He missed the show at Lincoln, and he's going to head down into the hot pit. We'll see if we can get an update from Chris down there as Anthony Burrows and the gang going to check out that race car to see if they can get the 71 back out onto the racetrack. Chris, if you have an update, take it away.
I'm going to see, guys, looks like they clearly looking in the left rear. I believe he shut it off. Let me see if I can find something out, guys.
Yeah, getting word it broke the shock and the spring on the 71 car, and it's sitting on the bars over there. That is the problem. Man, tough break.
Yep, they just said he's done, at least for the heat race. But yep, actually up now, come back here. Yeah, the shock is broken on the 71, so tough break for Huddy. Had a good start on that drop of the green flag, too.
Absolutely. Well, that is a tough break for him. As you saw Anthony Burrows, Nick Hardy, and the crew down there looking at it. So unfortunately, Hudson O'Neill will have to come from the back of one of our 2B mains coming up a little bit later on this evening. 0 laps in the books. All 8 laps still remaining here in Ibach Springs heat race number 4. Again, Garrett Alberson on the pole, Justin Can on the outside. The winner of this one starts on the outside front row of tonight's 50-lap main event.
And the green flag's out to Alberson. Man, he is a rocket ship on those starts and beating and banging. Man, there's a whole lot of taking and no giving here tonight as Garrett Alberson, your leader, Justin Can second, Dennis Erb Jr. in third, Duritsky, a lot of body damage on that 40 car, but we'll stay clean and green with Alberson leading lap 1 here in Ibach Springs heat race number 4.
Yeah, they tried to go 3 wide down the front straightaway, and it was like trying to shove a round peg in a square hole. It just simply did not happen. They wrecked 4 times on the front stretch, and somehow nobody ever actually wrecked. As we stay green flag racing, coming around a complete lap 2, that's the battle for second on your screen. Justin Can with the 66 has it, and Dennis Erb Jr. trying to take it away in the 28.
Justin Can sits in second. Erb Jr. in the Barry Wright house car looks to his inside off into 3 and 4. That's the battle for position 2. They got to be careful. They're both in the show, and they got a long way between them and Duritsky. Can will hold serve for second. Erb Jr. in third. Alberson gone in the 58 car. And as we said, the winner of Ibach Springs Heat 4 will start outside front row at tonight's 50-lap main event.
Yeah, you mentioned when you say Garrett Alberson is gone at the halfway point, he is going to have a 2-second advantage over this battle for second between Justin Can and Dennis Erb Jr. Dennis Erb Jr. is not someone that you typically associate with Lernerville Speedway, but he does have 3 starts in the Firecracker 100. 2 of those 3 starts he finished in the top 5.
Yeah, and it's good to see him back here. He's getting ready for a big week at Atomic Speedway with the World of Outlaws Case Late Model Series. Split box action for everybody watching at home. Your leader, Garrett Alberson, almost a straightaway in front of the battle for second. On the right side of your screen, and Justin Can pulls away from Dennis Erb Jr. as they race back to 2 to go. Duritsky in 4th. Back in 5th, Angelichio. Then it's Stickley, Hedman, and Hudson O'Neill out of the party here tonight. As Garrett Alberson, could this be the night that he gets a national win? And could it be here at Lernerville?
Now, Garrett Alberson, we've talked about it before, both here and on our Lucas broadcast. Biggest career win, $12,000. That happened in the Fall Brawl a couple weeks ago. White flags out, final time around. Battle for second heating up once again, but that happens some 4.2 seconds back of your race leader, Garrett Alberson. He's going to bring the Ken and Beth Roberts Racing off corner number 4 to a win here in Ibach Springs Heat 4. That battle for second, Erb going to get it at the line over Justin Can. Can finishes third. On the outside looking in is going to be Duritsky, Angelichio, Stickley, and Hedman. So the third spot goes to the 66 of Justin Can, finishing second, the 28 of Dennis Erb Jr., and the winner of Ibach Springs Heat Race number 4, the driver out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, in the Ken and Beth Roberts Racing, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Romer Machine and Welding, Bill's Sports Shop, Sunoco Race Fuels, Lucas Oil, Dunrate TV sponsored. Number 58, it's going to be Garrett Alberson. So Chris, we'll send it down to you. Garrett Alberson gets the win here in Ibach Springs Heat Race number 4. He'll start on the outside front row of tonight's main event.
Yeah, thank you, DJ. Fresh off that podium finish in the Topless 100 down at Batesville. Garrett, starting on the outside pole, looking for your first National Series win. How good do you feel your chances are right now?
I think as good as anybody's right there. That car is super easy to drive, and track's super technical and fun to get around right there. And yeah, super proud of my guys. RC and Thomas, we've been short my wife there the last couple of weeks, but we've been trying hard. And thanks to Ken and Beth for putting us out on the road, and Sunoco, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Bill Stein Shocks, keeping us going. And yeah, see what we can do.
Good luck.
Thank y'all.
Guys, you know better than I would, but I'd imagine him getting a National Series win would be a popular one. Seems like one of the nicer guys you'll find in the pit area.
Yeah, and he's the guy that's paid his dues as a crew member and started on the regional. He worked at Black Diamond Race Cars, Stuckey Enterprises. As we get set now for Hoosier Tire Heat Race number 5, it's Drake Troutman out of Hindman, Pennsylvania, in the 7, into his outside. Turbo Tyler Erb out of New Waverly, Texas, in the 1.
Row number 2 on the inside out of Dade City, Florida. It's going to be the 17SS. That's Brendan Smith on his outside and behind the wheel of the Levi Yetter backup car out of Lincoln, Illinois. First time here for Miles Moose.
Inside of row 3, it's Colton Flinner out of Allison Park, PA, in the 48, and the 77 of Tyler Dietz out of Saxonburg, Pennsylvania, in the 77.
And then your final 2 starters, it's going to be Salzburg, Pennsylvania's Andrew Wiley in the 84, and on his outside out of Oil City, Pennsylvania, the driver that was 8th in the Lernerville Speedway point standings in 2024, that is Tyler Wyant. So once again, 8 cars set to go 8 laps. This will be Dave Poske's, no it won't, it'll be Hoosier Tire Heat 5. The next one will be Dave Poske's Performance Parts Heat Race number 6. So this is Hoosier Tire Heat Race number 5. The winner of this one will start on the outside of row 2 in tonight's 50-lap A mains. The Lernerville Speedway pace truck will yield to the inside of the track. Yellow lights have been turned off. The green flag will wave this time. Drake Troutman in the number 7. Again, a solid weekend here at the Firecracker, as he's looking for his 7th win on the year, and has been mentioned earlier to his outside. He is now the reigning Summer Nationals champ out of New Waverly, Texas, and the Best Performance Motorsports number 1, Turbo Tyler Erb. They nearly stack him up, playing a game of cat and mouse coming off corner 4, but the green flag waves, Ben, we're underway.
Troutman with the lead, but here comes Turbo up top, and Turbo's going to tiptoe on the top side, and he'll go to the lead. Troutman to 2nd, Flinner in 3rd. Brendan Smith rides in 4th. Miles moves back in 5th, lap 1 to Tyler Erb.
Turbo out front. There's the battle for 3rd on your screen. Colton Flinner has it. Brendan Smith trying to take it away. Brendan Smith looking to get a run on his outside. Is trouble for Miles Moose. He's got a flat left rear tire on the Levi Yetter-owned Barrier Right race car, and that will bring out a caution as he is going to slow to a stop on the back straightaway. So Miles Moose, they made the nearly 10-hour drive out here. Actually, I think it was a 12-hour drive all the way from Lincoln, Illinois to Sarver, Pennsylvania. They're actually going to turn around. They're going to drive back home overnight tonight so that they can get to work tomorrow by noon.
Now that's a lot of drive.
Oh,
and
man.
Miles right now 5th in the series points, and right now Jason Fager would be the 1st provisional. Miles would be 2nd. There's 2 provisionals tonight, so Miles is guaranteed a starting spot tonight. Just down to the hot pit.
Yep, guys, same story, different verse. These guys are ready. Old left rear tire already coming off. I'll try to get a look at it, see if there's a cut in it or another popped off the bead. I don't know if we got a full moon tonight or what. These heat races have been pretty wild, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And that may have even happened, Ben, whenever everybody got stacked up on that initial start, as well as these drivers with 2 laps in are about to make their choice at the Deathridge Opticians Choose Cone at the flag stand.
That's right, and it's going to be Drake Troutman down low. It's going to be Flinner down low. So Brendan Smith will go from 4th outside of row 2. Is that right? And right now they're having a hard time getting Miles Moose's car on the jack.
Yeah, they don't have the rear end up high enough. They grabbed the 2nd jack. Now it's well up in the air, but that's going to cost them some key time. But yellow lights are still on. They've still got a shot as the new one goes on.
All right, well, they're hustling to get that new left rear shoe put on the Levi Yetter number 9, piloted by Miles Moose this weekend. As the drone follows the field through turns 3 and 4, they're going to have to hustle because the yellow lights are about to be shut off and the green flag is going to wave next time by. And interestingly enough, on at the Deathridge Opticians Choose Cone, you saw it there. Both Drake Troutman, your 2nd and 3rd place cars, both chose the inside lane on this restart.
They did so. Brendan Smith goes outside front row, and guys, we're just trying to try different things with our sport, and we appreciate Greg Deathridge and Deathridge Opticians sponsoring the cone, and we'll see if Brendan Smith can capitalize as we'll come back to the green flag. Tyler Erb, your leader, 2 down, 6 to go. This is Hoosier Tire Heat Race number 5.
Hey, racers race, man, as they go through turns 3 and 4 down the front straightaway. Here comes Drake Troutman to the inside, and look at the run. Brendan Smith gets on the outside, not quite able to parlay it up to the 2nd spot, though, as that lead trio going to put a couple car lengths between themselves. And your 4th place car, Colton Flinner,
Yeah, right now Flinner on the outside looking in, and he was, you know, on the restart he had the chance to go to the outside of row 2. He wanted the bottom, and Tyler Erb, meanwhile, slips off the top of turn number 2 just a little bit, loses some ground to Troutman. Troutman in second. Last time by the lead was 0.4 of a second. This time at the line, Tyler Erb's lead gonna grow to 0.6 of a second as Turbo's searching around, and this is a tough place to lead, DJ. We've heard these drivers talk about it. It's so wide and the grooves change so many times.
Yeah, absolutely. As Drake Troutman has maybe as many laps around this racetrack as Tyler Erb and Brendan Smith, as Troutman has run a few shows here, both in what they call an E-mod in this area, as well as the late model. We talked about the good run that he had on Firecracker 100 weekend, of course, notching his first career win with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, and Brendan Smith gets that right rear over the burn down in turns 3 and 4, and Colton Flinner moves to the final transfer.
Yeah, man, what a battle right now. Meanwhile, Troutman has reeled in your leader. The battle for the lead on the left side of your screen. The battle for the final transfer on the right side. Tyler Erb leads the way over Troutman for the lead. Meanwhile, Brendan Smith gonna throw it in on Flinner for the third spot as they come to the white flag. Flinner drives back down the hill. That's fun.
Man, Lernerville is fun, baby. They head down the back straightaway for the final time.
Flinner just broke.
We'll keep it doubled up. Flinner breaks, and that's all she wrote, unfortunately, for the 48 off corner number 4. Turbo will get the win. Drake Troutman second, and that will give the final transfer to Brendan Smith.
Wow.
Andrew Wiley will finish 4th, Tyler Wyatt 5th, and Tyler Dean 6th in another entertaining heat race. That was Hoosier Tire Heat 5. Brendan Smith finishes 3rd. Drake Troutman finishes 2nd, and the winner of this one, Ben, in the Best Performance Motorsports, Langenfelder Mechanical Contractors, BulkMaterialLift.com, First Class Septic, Anthony's Pizza, sponsored number 1. The driver of the Clemens-powered rocket chassis out of New Waverly, Texas, Turbo Tyler Erb. And I think we've got to look at the MD3 5-star instant replay here to see what happened.
Yeah, let's see what went awry. As you see Flinner turn back down the hill and up in front, and boom, you see mechanical failure.
Yeah.
Some of Sparks coming out of the back of that 48 of Flinner. Man, that's a tough break.
And a rear end.
And it's been a tough year for Colton Flinner as well. But right now, Tyler Erb, who has not had a tough year, he wins Dave Poske's Performance Parts Heat Race 6, and he's with Chris. Let's play again. That'd be Hoosier Tire Heat Race 5, but he's still with Chris.
He can't count, Chris. It's okay.
That's okay. I can't either. Down here with Turbo as he gets the gloves and helmet off here. You guys talked about it was a tough place to lead. Drake did start to reel him in there the second half of that heat race or so. Tyler, you got a good run there on the top to grab the lead. Then it kind of seemed, especially in 1 and 2, like you were searching around for some speed and grip.
Yeah, was, you know, when you get the lead, you gotta figure out something else because you can't, you can't be complacent. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun. Feels good. I took, I don't know, feels like 6 weeks off, but I didn't race last weekend. So, just a shout out to Cody Carl, Blade Kearns. They worked really, really hard this week in the last week, really all together. Eric Brock, my mom at First Class Septic, and each and every person on his car, Mark Langenfelder and all his family. Anthony's Pizza's here, and hopefully have a good feature.
There you go, guys. We heard Devin Moran after that first heat race say you're searching around in 1 and 2. Seems like it's still the case. 3 and 4 might be losing a little bit of grip, but certainly still appears to be the faster end of the speedway.
Definitely. This track changes a ton, and it's going to definitely change a ton by the time that 50 lapper's over tonight. Now, DJ, it's time for Dave Poske's Performance Parts Heat Race number 6. And on the pole, it'll be Mike Marlar out of Winfield, Tennessee in the 157, and to his outside, good qualifying effort for Bear Lake, Pennsylvania's Boom Briggs in the 99B.
Row 2 on the inside is going to be the 25C out of Chalk Hill, Pennsylvania. That's Mason Ziegler. And on his outside, it'll be the driver out of Avis, Pennsylvania, in the 18 star. That's Dylan Cece.
Row 3 will be Spencer Hughes out of Causeyville, Mississippi in the 19M, and the 57 of Matt Tift out of Cleveland, Ohio.
And your final 2 starters, Ryan Christoph, the Canonsburg, Pennsylvania driver, the number 10 and 81 out of Illinois. That would be Chicago, Illinois. Shakora, Pennsylvania. Yeah, close.
Ace Ventura would be proud.
Yes, he would. It's going to be Mike Miller, one of the regulars here at Lernerville in the 81. This is the final Castrol FloRacing Night in America heat race of the night. As Ben mentioned, Dave Poske's Performance Parts heat race number 6. The winner of this one will start 6th in tonight's main event.
So right now, Spencer Hughes, he is eligible for provisional tonight as well, but Jason Fager not in, Miles Moose not in. They're both in front of him in the points, so Spencer Hughes is either wanting to race in or hope one of those guys can get in out of a B main. Jason Fager will be on the front row for a B main. But this will be for the 6th starting spot in tonight's main event. That's where the winner will start. This is Dave Poske's Performance Parts Heat Race number 6. 8 cars, 8 laps, top 3 to the feature. And it's Marlar and Briggs. Green flags up. We're underway.
Talked about earlier how well Mike Marlar runs here at the Lernerville Speedway. 3rd back at the Firecracker. He's finished twice, or finished 2nd in that race on a couple different occasions, and he's going to get the early hole shot in this one, trying to bring Boom Briggs with him in the 99B, and Mason Ziegler going to round out the top 3.
Ziegler in 3rd right now, back and forth. How about Dylan Cece having a good run? He sits back in 4th, and Marlar's got trouble. And the 157 off the racetrack, and he is going to limp it back to the pit area. Meanwhile, Spencer Hughes moves up to 3rd as we come around to complete lap 2, and Marlar done for this one. Wow.
Yeah, Marlar's going to try to limp that 157 back to the pit area. We stay green flag racing, and there's the battle for the final transfer between Spencer Hughes in the 19 and Dylan Cece in the 18 star. At the front of the field, it's Boom Briggs leading heat race number 6.
XR 1.2 out in front of over XR1 of Mason Ziegler, and back in 3rd, another XR1 rocket, the 19 car Spencer Hughes, as Cece falling back another spot. He's got company in the form of Ryan Kristoff in the 10C as they battle for position number 4 with 4 down, 4 to go, and out front, Boom letting her eat up top.
Yeah, my Deathridge optician's eyeball test says yes, as Boom Briggs pulling away from your 2nd place car, Mason Ziegler. The lead went from 0.8 to 1.2. This time by, it's 1.2 and a little more.
Something. Ziegler right now, he had a good weekend back during the Firecracker, and he's putting the whip to it. Meanwhile, Spencer Hughes in 3rd. Cece's got his feet back under him. He's in 4th, but he's got to make up some ground as we come around to 2 to go. He's on the outside looking in for the main event behind Spencer. He's in just like that. Cece off the pace, and the 18 car with trouble, and that's going to draw the caution as he's parked at the top of turn 4 with 2 laps remaining. And Dave Poske's heat race number 6. That's Dylan Cece. And man, he had just got back rolling again, and something going awry on that 18 car.
Yeah, you mentioned 3 wins for him this year, and I tell you what, I don't know if that caution is a blessing or a curse for Boom Briggs. He had stretched out to a 1.2 second advantage, but he actually lost half of that last time around. So that will tighten the field back up and set up a 2-lap dash to the finish, and it's a difference in 6 starting spots in tonight's A main, because as we mentioned, the winner of Dave Poske's Performance Parts Heat Race number 6 will start 6th tonight, and the driver that finishes 2nd in this one will start 12th. The driver that finishes 3rd will start 18th.
All right, so Cece's going to get a push in the 18 car. As you said, a 3-time winner this year, 2 of those in the stock car division, 1 in the late model, and man, you hate to see it. It's cool to see so many new faces out here with the series for the first time, as again, this is as far northeast as we've ever got.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, that's a good-looking car, too. I'm always a sucker for those blue and orange race cars. My dad's always had orange and blue race cars, so anything along those lines just always kind of rings home true to me. And, man, that's a good-looking race car, but unfortunately it looks like his heat race is going to come to a premature end.
And how about Mike Marlar? What a heartbreak mechanical issue on the 157 knocks him out leading early on, and it's kind of been that time for Mike Marlar. Just not a lot of luck this year. Chris, what do you got?
Yeah, I was just about to say that down at Arkansas this past weekend. Marlar was running in the top 10 and going forward in the 100-lapper, and then had motor issues. His night ended early down there in the topless 100 as well.
It's been a tough one. He'll look to bounce back, headed over to Port Royal Speedway with you and I, DJ. We'll be joining our buddy, the GOAT, James Essex, Friday and Saturday for the Rumble by the River. And, man, what a great place. Looking forward to heading over there.
Absolutely. Let's tell you what, that Bruning Skyline Motorsports team seemed like they had kind of maybe turned the corner a little bit. His teammate Tyler Bruning had turned in some good runs out on the World of Outlaws Tour as well. The tough break for the 157 here tonight. 6 down, 2 to go. Boom out front.
And it is a single file restart, because once we get to the halfway mark in any prelim action, it's single file. In the main event, we double them up the whole way on the Deathridge Optician cones. Meanwhile, Ziegler looks at inside of Boom Briggs. They're going to race back to the white flag. Can Boom hold on for a lap and a half, or can Ziegler find a way around him? Spencer Hughes in 3rd. He's going to try to take 2nd away from Ziegler as Ziegler gets over the cushion. 1 to go with Hughes up to 2nd.
Final time around, and this will be a fun interview for Chris Moore if he's able to hang on for another half lap as they head down the back straightaway for the final time. Hughes going to try to hang on to the second spot. Checkered flag is out. Kaboom! It's going to be Rick Boombriggs getting the win in Plosky's Heats number 6. Second spot will go to Spencer Hughes. Mason Ziegler third. Ryan Kristoff with a good run. He finishes fourth over Matt Tiff, Mike Miller, and then the rest of the field. So third will go to Mason Ziegler. Second will go to Spencer Hughes. Taking a victory lap around the Lernerville Speedway, the winner of Posky's Performance Parts, heat race number 6. He's the two-time ULMS champion in the Brakes Transport, Excess Storage, Corey Rubber Corp, Valvoline, Dave Orient Power Sports, Rocket Chassis out of Bear Lake, Pennsylvania. Hey, Lernerville, how about a round of applause for Boom Briggs?
Well, Chris, down there at the scales, get a pack of Senecas ready because Boom's coming your way, and he just won a heat race, and he is going to be 9 kinds of fired up as Boom Briggs, winner of Dave Posky's Performance Heat 6, makes his way to the scales. Down to you, Chris.
Yeah, looking forward to this one. Oh, he got the car up. We got to roll him forward here. I'll help you out, Ray. Boom. Here comes the Boom, man. You brought a wicked fast race car today, quick in hot laps, quick in time trials, and you roll to a pretty easy heat race win. Does your car feel as good as it looks?
It feels really good. You know, hats off to Mark Richards. This is one of them brand new cars, and hell, it's making me look pretty good. But I think everybody should order one. But this one here is for my brother. You know, everybody in the country knows he's battling pancreatic cancer, and he's here tonight carrying his chemo bag. So this heat race wins for him.
Hey, you got 50 laps later. Put on another show for him. Good luck.
Thank you.
There you go, guys. Boom Briggs picking up a heat race win. I got a feeling Mark Richards is going to be selling some race cars soon with the way they're going.
And DJ, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. So
Yep,
kudos to the
absolutely.
Briggs family, and they won't make it to Port Royal if Boom wins tonight. I know the race until Friday. They will not make it there. As guys, it's time now for Pro Stock Heat Race action. Eric, take it away, sir.
I'm going to let Big E, Eric Westendorf, hop on the mic over here as they're doing just a little bit of track prep out there. So we're going to lay low here for just a second as Big E gets the headset on. We're going to thank the folks that make this a possibility as they tickle the top here at Lernerville Speedway. Don't go anywhere. It's Castrol FloRacing Night in America. We'll be back right after this.